They say loyalty is a two-way street, but in my story, it was a dead end. I gave 4 years of my life to a company that promised growth, recognition, and reward. Instead, I learned the hard way that sometimes the only way to rise is to walk away. This is the story of how my boss refused to promote me and how I used his own company to double my salary and reclaim my life. I was young, eager, and stupidly loyal. An engineer working for a defense contractor. The kind of place where ambition dies under fluorescent lights and endless bureaucracy. Every year, I got the same email. Congratulations, you've received a 3% raise. 3%? After countless nights of staying late, skipping dinners, and putting my heart into projects that barely had my name on them. Still, I told myself, next year will be different. That lie kept me going. Then, one day, my boss offered me something that felt like hope. A project engineer role. My chance to prove I was more than just another cog in the system. I built a team. 4 engineers, a designer, 2 admin staff. Together, we created something incredible. A system that made over $1.6 million in its first year. We secured a patent and even became finalists for a U.S. Department of Defense Technical Award. We were flown to Washington, D.C. Handshakes, cameras, applause. For a moment, it felt like I had made it, but I didn't know yet that my boss had already written a different ending. A few months later, performance reviews arrived. I opened mine, 10 out of 10, the highest possible score. I remember smiling, feeling that rush of validation that maybe, just maybe, someone had finally noticed my effort. Then the email came, a quiet announcement that one of my team members, someone I managed, had been promoted early. I hadn't. No raise, no recognition. Just another 3%. It felt like a punch in the gut. My chest burned with anger, confusion, humiliation. I went to my boss, demanding an explanation. He looked at me with the same calm indifference he always wore and said, "Yeah, I don't think they deserved that promotion either. But I wasn't their boss, so try harder next year." That sentence shattered something inside me. The loyalty, the trust, the drive, gone. In that moment, I realized I was never going to win a rigged game. That was the day I quit, not on paper, but in my heart. From then on, I gave the company exactly what they paid for, my time and nothing more. No more late nights, no more weekend emails. I clocked in, I clocked out. I took every Friday off. I used every sick day. I went home on time and hugged my family instead of my computer screen. And you know what? My mental health flourished. But quietly, I started plotting. See, our department had this education budget that nobody ever used. It was meant for professional growth, and it didn't come with any long-term obligation. My coworker, the one who'd been promoted over me, started an MBA. The company paid for his classes, but there was a catch. He had to stay for years afterward. But me? I chose something different. I signed up for FEA and 3D modeling classes. High-demand technical skills that were open-ended, no strings attached. We traveled together, attended the same sessions, learned side by side. He was studying for the company. I was studying for my freedom. After a few months of training, I had something priceless, a skill set worth far more than my loyalty. Late at night, after my kids went to bed, I polished my resume. Every bullet point was a memory of exhaustion, of sacrifice, of work that had made someone else rich. Then I began to apply, quietly, strategically, to positions that needed exactly what I now knew. It didn't take long. Emails started pouring in, interviews, offers, negotiations. And then it happened. A company came forward, a competitor. They offered me double my salary, base pay, and overtime pay on top. It was life-changing. I accepted immediately. And then I walked into my boss's office for the last time. He was sitting there, calm, confident, assuming I was there to ask for another chance. But instead, I handed him my resignation letter. He blinked, twice, then forced a laugh. "You're joking, right?" I shook my head. "No, I'm done." "But we just paid for your training." You can't just leave. I smiled. Actually, I can. The contract doesn't say otherwise. That's when he snapped. Don't you feel any loyalty, any guilt? Guilt for giving up my weekends? For missing birthdays? For being invisible? He leaned forward, desperate now. How much are they paying you? Maybe we can match it. I told him the number. His jaw dropped. No. I felt free. He whispered, almost to himself, that's more than I make. I looked him dead in the eye. Exactly. And then I walked out. My new job was everything my old one wasn't. Respect, fair pay, growth. That first year with overtime, I made nearly 3 times what I had before. It changed everything. Not just financially, but emotionally. For the first time in years, I felt valued. Not because someone finally noticed me, but because I took back control. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's not about destroying someone. It's about rising quietly while they realize they can't stop you. I didn't sabotage the company. I didn't burn bridges. I just used the same opportunities they gave me. Better. They trained me. They ignored me. And then, I left. That's the ultimate victory. Or if you're watching this, stuck somewhere that doesn't value you, remember this. Loyalty means nothing to a company that sees you as replaceable. Don't give them your soul. Use their time to build your freedom. And when the day comes, walk out with your head held high. Because sometimes the sweetest revenge is living the life they told you you'd never have.